The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the desolate streets of East Baltimore. On the corner of Orleans Street and Belnord Avenue, Maniac Mike and Deadeye waited in the cold twilight, their faces illuminated by the flickering neon sign of a rundown liquor store. Maniac Mike, a short, muscular man with a fierce glare and a scar running down his cheek, stood with a restless energy. His small stature often made him the butt of jokes, but his ruthless reputation quickly silenced any laughter. Beside him, Deadeye leaned casually against a street lamp. At 5'10", he had a wiry frame and an unsettling gaze. His right eye was a milky white, the result of a bar fight gone wrong. He had a reputation for being shifty, always one step ahead in the deadly game they played. "You sure about this, dummy?" Deadeye's voice was a gravelly whisper. "I heard things about that old warehouse. People say it's haunted." "Haunted?" Mike scoffed, adjusting the gun tucked into his waistband. "Ain't no ghosts, just people too scared to handle their business. We got a deal to close, and that's all there is to it." Their destination was an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of their territory. It was a known meeting spot for shady deals, but recently, whispers of eerie occurrences had spread through the streets. People vanished, and those who returned spoke of dark figures and whispers in the night. As they walked, the city's sounds faded, replaced by an oppressive silence. The warehouse loomed ahead, a monolith of decaying brick and shattered windows. Mike pushed the heavy door open, the rusted hinges groaning in protest. Inside, the air was thick with dust and decay. Shadows danced in the dim light, filtering through broken windows. They moved cautiously, their footsteps echoing in the vast emptiness. "Fuck they at?" Mike muttered, glancing around. They should have been here by now. A faint sound caught Deadeye's attention. He turned, peering into the darkness. "Mike, you hear that shit?" Mike listened, but there was nothing, just the silence, pressing in on them. "You trippin', man. Focus." They continued deeper into the warehouse, the walls closing in like a tomb. Then a figure emerged from the shadows. Tall, gaunt, with eyes that gleamed unnaturally in the dark. "Who's dat?" Mike demanded, drawing his gun. The figure didn't respond. Instead, it stepped closer, revealing more figures behind it. Men and women, their eyes hollow, their skin pallid. They moved with a jerky, unnatural gait. "What the fuck?" Deadeye raised his gun, aiming at the nearest figure. "Dummy, these ain't normal people." Mike fired a warning shot, but the figure didn't flinch. It kept advancing, joined by the others. Panic set in. "Fall back!" Mike shouted, retreating towards the door. But the figures were faster. They closed in, their hands reaching out, fingers like claws. Deadeye fired wildly, the muzzle flashes briefly illuminating their twisted faces. They looked like they'd been dead for years. "Mike, we gotta get out of here!" Deadeye yelled, backing into Mike. Suddenly, the door slammed shut with a deafening bang. The figures surrounded them, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. The air grew colder, and whispers filled the room, incomprehensible and maddening. Mike fought desperately, his fists connecting with cold, clammy flesh. But there were too many. Deadeye screamed as hands clawed at him, dragging him into the darkness. "Dummy! Dummy, help!" Deadeye's voice was a desperate wail. Mike turned, but Deadeye was gone, swallowed by the shadowy horde. He felt hands on him, pulling him down. The whispers grew louder, more insistent. His vision blurred, and the last thing he saw was the face of a woman, her eyes empty and dead. Days later, a group of curious teens from the neighborhood dared each other to explore the old warehouse. Armed with flashlights and bravado, they ventured inside, their laughter echoing through the empty halls. They found the warehouse in disarray, signs of a violent struggle evident. Bloodstains marked the floor, and bullet casings littered the ground. But there were no bodies. In the center of the room, a message was scrawled in blood. "They are watching. They are waiting." Terrified, the teens fled, their minds filled with the horrors they'd witnessed. The warehouse remained, a silent sentinel of the terror within. And the whispers continued, growing louder with each passing night, waiting for the next victims to wander into their domain. East Baltimore's streets remained haunted by the legend of Maniac Mike and Deadeye, two men who thought they were untouchable, only to be consumed by a darkness far beyond their comprehension. The corner of Orleans Street and Belnord Avenue became a place of fear, a reminder that some deals come with a price too steep to pay.